Brayden is gone, and no one knows where he disappeared. Was it a secret plan, a betrayal, or something far more dangerous? Every character in Power Book 4 Force is feeling the tension. And clues are scattered everywhere. Some say he's hiding. Others think he's been taken. And a few believe he's playing a move no one saw coming. Today, we dive deep into where Brayden could be and why his disappearance might change everything in the city of New York. Brayden's sudden disappearance sent shockwaves through everyone connected to him. In the last few episodes, we saw him acting strangely, making secretive calls, and meeting with people he usually avoids. These moments seemed small at first, almost insignificant, but in hindsight, they were the early signs that something big was about to happen. His closest allies were the first to notice. People who trusted him began to feel uneasy, questioning whether Brayden had a hidden agenda or if he was in danger. The tension escalated quickly when he failed to show up for critical meetings that could have affected the balance of power in the streets. By the time other characters realized he was missing, panic had already started to spread. Rumors ran wild. Some claimed Brayden had left intentionally, trying to protect someone from the rising threats in his life. Others whispered that enemies had finally caught up to him. And his disappearance was no accident. Every corner of New York seemed to react to his absence, from the smallest street-level operations to the larger crime networks plotting in the shadows. The impact on his friends and rivals was immediate. Loyal allies felt a mix of fear and frustration. They were left scrambling for answers while trying to maintain their own safety. Every decision they made seemed sharper, heavier, and more cautious, as if Brayden's absence had created a vacuum of control that everyone was trying to fill. Meanwhile, his enemies started sensing weakness. Competitors who had always kept a close eye on him realized that without Brayden around, there was an opening for power moves, betrayals, and shifts in alliances. Even minor characters, who were often background players, suddenly became more significant because they might hold clues to where Brayden went. Every phone call, every suspicious look, and every secret meeting could now be a potential lead or trap, and viewers can feel the tension building with every passing scene. Looking back at his last known movements gives a sense of the complexity surrounding his disappearance. Brayden had been spotted at several key locations over the past few episodes, each place hinting at possible reasons for him vanishing. First, there was the meeting in the quiet warehouse, where whispers about a new alliance seemed to hint that Brayden might be negotiating something dangerous. Then came the solitary moment on the bridge, staring at the city lights, where it almost seemed like he was planning his next move carefully, as if preparing for something unseen. Each scene layered more mystery, leaving viewers questioning whether he left voluntarily or if circumstances forced him out. What makes this even more intriguing is the subtle clues the writers left behind: small expressions, hurried texts, and coded messages that only the most attentive fans could pick up. These breadcrumbs suggest that Brayden's disappearance is not random but a carefully constructed plot point that will shape the rest of the season. The reactions of other characters also add depth to this mystery. Loyal friends try to piece together his intentions while dealing with their own fears. Rivals try to guess his plans while weighing their next steps. The tension escalates not just because someone is missing, but because Brayden was a figure who held balance in multiple networks. Without him, power dynamics are unstable. The disappearance challenges friendships, tests loyalties, and ignites conflicts that were simmering just beneath the surface. Fans have noticed that these developments are setting the stage for a dramatic revelation. Brayden's absence is like a storm that is quietly approaching, and no one can predict where it will strike first. Every character, every alliance, and every move in the city feels magnified because Brayden's role was so central to the ongoing story. Even small details contribute to the suspense. The city itself becomes a character. Streets that once felt safe now appear filled with uncertainty. Viewers are drawn into the tension through subtle storytelling, a shadow moving in the background, a locked door, an unanswered phone call. These visuals, paired with the narrative of Brayden's disappearance, create a sense of unease that keeps fans on edge. The writers have made sure that Brayden's absence is not just a plot hole but a powerful driving force that influences every scene. The speculation around his whereabouts has become a puzzle that fans are eager to solve, and each episode builds on this suspense, teasing answers while revealing more questions. In essence, Brayden's disappearance is not just about one character. Going missing, it's about the ripple effect his absence creates across the entire world of Power Book 4 Force, leaving viewers desperate for answers and hungry for predictions about what comes next. Brayden's disappearance has left fans and characters alike questioning every possibility. And the show has carefully left just enough clues to fuel speculation. One of the most talked about theories is that Brayden is hiding intentionally. Some suggest he realized the danger was too great, either from law enforcement closing in or from rivals who have been watching him for weeks. Hiding would make sense for someone like Brayden. He's resourceful, cautious, and always thinking 2 steps ahead. If he is hiding, it's likely not just for self-preservation, but to protect someone else, an ally, a friend, or even a family member who could be threatened if he stayed visible. Visual hints in previous episodes support this idea. Scenes showing Brayden meeting in quiet, secluded locations, talking in whispers, or leaving abruptly without explanation. These moments were subtle, almost easy to miss, but they paint a picture of someone planning an intentional retreat, someone who knows that staying in the open could be dangerous. Another strong theory is that Brayden has been taken or betrayed. In the world of Power Book 4, Force, trust is fragile and enemies are always watching. Several antagonistic characters have motives that align perfectly with making Brayden disappear. Perhaps someone close to him gave him away. Or maybe a rival finally found the perfect opportunity to strike. Supporting this theory are the sudden changes in how other characters react to his absence. People who normally act confident are suddenly anxious, which could indicate they know more than they let on. There are also moments of tension where certain characters seem almost relieved that Brayden is gone, suggesting a hidden hand behind his disappearance. This possibility creates a sense of danger not just for Brayden, but for everyone connected to him. Because when someone as central as him vanishes, it destabilizes every network, every alliance, and every plan that relies on him being present. Third theory dives into the possibility of Brayden being on a secret mission. Some fans believe he hasn't truly disappeared, but is operating undercover. Perhaps he is gathering information, tracking a rival, or setting a trap that only he knows about. If this is true, it would explain the cryptic behavior and sudden absences from his usual hangouts. Secret missions have been a recurring element in the Power universe, and Brayden's character fits the profile of someone willing to take calculated risks for a bigger payoff. Certain interactions in earlier episodes, like private phone calls and seemingly meaningless movements, could all be pieces of this covert puzzle. If this theory holds, then his disappearance is actually part of a larger strategy, one that could completely shift power dynamics once it's revealed. It's a risky move, but Brayden has shown before that he thrives in situations where everyone underestimates him. Finally, some fans are entertaining the idea of a major plot twist. Could Brayden's disappearance be tied to a character or storyline no one is expecting? Maybe he is working with someone considered an enemy, or perhaps he has been forced into a situation that changes his entire trajectory. This theory is less about evidence and more about the narrative patterns of Power Book 4 Force, where surprises and betrayals are common. The show has built a world where alliances shift suddenly, and no character is truly safe. If Brayden's disappearance is part of a twist, it could mean that events we've assumed are predictable are actually carefully orchestrated, with Brayden at the center. Every subtle gesture, every unexplained action could be a clue pointing to a future revelation that shocks both characters and fans alike. These theories are not mutually exclusive. Brayden could be hiding while secretly gathering information, or he could have been taken but left clues about his survival. The beauty of Power Book 4 Force is how it layers suspense, leaving viewers piecing together every hint to predict what comes next, every interaction, every glance. Every cryptic message now feels loaded with meaning. By exploring these possibilities, fans become detectives, analyzing every detail, theorizing about motives, and speculating about what could happen when Brayden eventually returns. Whether he is in hiding, kidnapped, on a mission, or part of a shocking twist, one thing is clear: Brayden's absence is a central puzzle piece. And understanding it is key to predicting the explosive events that lie ahead in the season. When trying to figure out where Brayden went, every little detail from previous episodes becomes important. The show has carefully dropped clues, some obvious, some subtle, that suggest his disappearance wasn't random. One of the first signs was his unusual behavior in the last episodes before he vanished. He was seen making secretive phone calls, meeting in quiet, secluded locations, and disappearing for hours without explanation. These actions alone hint at someone who is either planning something big or is being forced to act in secrecy. It wasn't just the actions themselves, but the way he did them: hesitant glances, pauses in conversation, and a sense of caution in his body language. All of this suggests that Brayden knew the risks of staying visible and chose to act accordingly. Another piece of evidence lies in the reactions of other characters. Those closest to him seemed uneasy, almost like they sensed something was about to happen. A trusted ally questioning his decisions, a rival appearing to calm, or a neutral character suddenly showing interest in Brayden's moves. All of these interactions can be interpreted as clues. For example, there was a scene where a supposed friend avoided mentioning Brayden in conversation, and the hesitation in their voice spoke volumes. It may have been a small detail, but in a world as tense as the one Power Book 4 Force depicts, small details can reveal a lot. Fans analyzing these interactions notice patterns, like who benefits from Brayden being gone and who might have had prior knowledge of his disappearance. Every glance, whisper, and reaction is evidence that could help pinpoint his location or explain why he left. Physical locations also provide hints. Brayden was last seen in spots that are significant for both strategy and secrecy. The warehouse meeting suggested potential alliances and negotiations happening behind the scenes. The city streets where he was caught in brief moments indicate he might have been scouting or checking for threats. Even seemingly ordinary locations, like a quiet apartment or a bridge overlooking the city, could be symbolic of hiding spots or planning grounds. By paying attention to these settings, viewers can start to connect the dots. If Brayden was preparing for a confrontation or mission, these locations serve as clues, hinting at what his next moves might be or why he disappeared in the first place. Digital evidence adds another layer. Unanswered texts, deleted messages, and sudden disruptions in his online communications all suggest that something interrupted his normal routine. Fans have speculated about encrypted messages or secret plans, pointing out that the show's writers often use these subtle digital cues to foreshadow future plot twists. A message left behind, a missed call, or a cryptic social media post could all be interpreted as evidence that Brayden was preparing to disappear or being forced into hiding. Even the absence of communication becomes a clue. If he were truly missing by accident, there would likely be chaos and random messages. Instead, the patterns suggest calculated moves. Finally, character interactions give strong hints about the bigger picture: rivals acting suspiciously, friends showing concern or secrecy, and unexpected alliances forming all point to a carefully orchestrated disappearance. The evidence doesn't just suggest Brayden's location, it hints at the larger narrative at play. His absence isn't just a personal problem, it's a strategic one that affects everyone in the city. From street-level players to those in higher networks of power, observing these interactions closely, fans can see who might have had a hand in making him disappear and who might be the key to discovering his location. The show's attention to detail ensures that every small gesture, every subtle shift in tone, and every unexplained absence contributes to the mystery. keeping viewers theorizing and anticipating what's coming next. In conclusion, the evidence around Brayden's disappearance is everywhere if you know where to look, from his suspicious behavior and character reactions to locations and digital clues. The story is layered with hints. These elements all point to the fact that his disappearance is deliberate, carefully plotted, and central to the season's unfolding drama for fans who pay attention. The evidence allows predictions to be made, and the suspense keeps everyone guessing. Every clue brings us closer to understanding where Brayden might be and what his return could mean for the future of Power Book 4 Force, based on the clues and theories. It's possible to start imagining what might happen next with Brayden. One of the most likely scenarios is that Brayden is hiding intentionally to gain an advantage. If this is the case, his disappearance isn't about fear but strategy. Brayden has always been shown as someone who thinks several steps ahead, and going off the radar could give him the opportunity to observe his rivals without being noticed. By staying hidden, he can gather intelligence, plan a comeback, or even set traps for those who might underestimate him. If this theory is true, viewers can expect his return to be dramatic, timed perfectly to create maximum impact on the ongoing power struggles. The characters on the show may act as if they're controlling the situation, but Brayden could have been quietly pulling the strings all along, waiting for the exact moment to reveal himself. Another strong prediction is that Brayden may have been taken by someone who wants to weaken his influence. If he is being held against his will, the stakes rise significantly. His allies may be forced to make risky moves, leading to confrontations, betrayals, and alliances being tested. This scenario creates tension across multiple storylines because Brayden's absence creates a gap that others will try to exploit. Enemies could believe they have gained an upper hand, only for unexpected twists to reveal that they underestimated him. The show has a history of surprises where characters believed to be powerless return in shocking ways. If Brayden is indeed a captive, his eventual escape or rescue could become a turning point in the season, reshaping loyalties and sparking conflicts that ripple through every corner of the city. A third likely outcome ties into the theory that Brayden is working undercover on a secret mission. This would explain the mysterious clues, cryptic meetings, and unusual behavior seen in previous episodes. If he is operating in secret, his disappearance is a deliberate move to protect not only himself, but also a plan that could destabilize his enemies. This prediction suggests a season filled with tension and suspense, where viewers must pay close attention to details to see the bigger picture. His return could coincide with revealing critical secrets or evidence, exposing rival plans, or even toppling key players who have been manipulating the city behind the scenes. Such a plot would elevate Brayden's role from just a missing character to a central force driving the season's storylines forward. There is also the possibility of a plot twist that no one sees coming, which is consistent with the style of Power Book 4 Force. Brayden could have aligned himself with a character considered a villain, shifted loyalties, or even orchestrated events that seem chaotic but actually serve a larger plan. If this happens, it would redefine his character and impact everyone connected to him. Such a twist could also introduce new rivalries or alliances, keeping viewers guessing and sparking heated discussions in fan communities. It would highlight the unpredictable nature of the series, where every disappearance and every secret has the potential to shift the balance of power. Ultimately, the most plausible predictions combine elements of strategy, danger, and secrecy. Whether Brayden is hiding to gain an advantage, being held by enemies, or secretly working on a mission, the common theme is that his disappearance will have far-reaching consequences. His return, whenever it happens, is likely to be dramatic, impactful, and central to the resolution of ongoing storylines. Fans can expect high tension, surprising reveals, and the potential for major shifts in power dynamics. Each outcome builds on the clues left in previous episodes, tying together character motivations, hidden agendas, and the intricate web of alliances, and betrayals that define the world of Power Book 4. In conclusion, predicting Brayden's fate is both exciting and challenging because the writers have masterfully layered hints, tensions, and conflicts. Every theory has its supporting evidence, every clue points to multiple possibilities, and every character's reaction could alter the outcome. One thing is clear: wherever Brayden is, his presence or absence is a key driver of the story, and his eventual return will be a moment that changes everything for the city, the characters, and the audience eagerly following every twist and turn. Brayden's disappearance doesn't just leave questions about his own fate, it sends shockwaves through every corner of the city and every network of power. The absence of a single key player like him creates tension and uncertainty, forcing other characters to adjust their strategies in ways they might never have imagined. His allies are now operating in a world without the guidance and protection he offered. Decisions that once seemed safe now carry enormous risk, and those who depended on him are left scrambling to fill gaps he left behind. This ripple effect highlights how much influence one character can have and why his disappearance feels so destabilizing. Everyone feels the impact, from the street-level players making small deals to higher-ups maneuvering behind closed doors. Because Brayden was a linchpin in maintaining the delicate balance of power, the uncertainty surrounding his location also amplifies paranoia among his rivals. When a powerful figure vanishes, enemies start second-guessing their own plans.